the most common questions I get in Madden every single year is how I attack cover zero, whether it's the 4-3 even 6-1, the 3-4 odd, the mid blitz meta. It's always a very popular defense because a lot of players will start off the year in it while we're learning how to beat man coverage and also block blitzes. But then also because at the end of the year in Madden Ultimate Team, they come out with overpowered man coverage abilities that make man coverage even better. So it's a cyclical coverage that starts and ends the year for a lot of players, and it creates a lot of issues. So today I'm going to show you guys a coverage glitch that you guys can run out of the bunch tight end, the trips tight end, and other formations like that. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and let's get after it. Now, today's setup is going to involve a man swap of the safeties that you will be able to utilize motion snaps. And during this moment, when we motion the receiver, it will swap the safeties. So the safety that is guarding one of our receivers on the left side of the field will now have to go to the right side of the field and guard the tight end, or vice versa if you flip the formation. This is really, really effective against the heavier formations such as the 4-3 even 6-1 or the 3-4 odd. So let's go ahead and get after it here and break down how this works. Now with this particular formation, the bunch tight end, I've got a lot of different ways I can attack out of this, but I will tell you that one of my favorite routes to use is the steep corner route that is found in the play inside switch. The reason for this is that this route can be custom stemmed down. So it basically is just a sharp route that breaks up the field. If you were to contrast this to a hot routed corner that we were to stem down, it behaves more like a slant out. So it's going to be something that, you know, breaks more to the sideline, which is fine, but just kind of understand that if you're getting a swap off, you might want to get this route horizontal, but also have a little bit more of a vertical component to this. Now, when we take a look at the play art for a cover zero blitz out of the 3-4, or we'll show you the 6-1 here momentarily, you notice that the safeties are the ones responsible for the tight end on the right and the inside most receiver on the left. The reason that a trips tight end or a bunch tight end formation alignment is super important is because we're going to play games with those safeties. To illustrate this, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to snap it, but I just want you to watch the lines between the safeties on this play. When I start to motion Marvin Harrison over to the right, you're going to see that it swaps those two players. And now you end up with a safety that is out of alignment on this side of the field. So what we can do is we can time this correctly, especially against a heavy blitz meta, where we can actually use this receiver as a blocker to seal the left edge, while also allowing us to leak the running back, which is usually the user's responsibility, and also the tight end out on the route. So what I'm going to do here out of this play inside switch is I'm going to leave the custom stemmed corner route to the tight end. I'm going to go ahead and leave the table route to the running back. Most players, when they run a cover zero blitz, is they're expecting your running back to stay in and block. So a lot of players kind of get lazy and they'll forget about the running back. And this particular setup allows us to get the ball quickly to him in the flat, or we're looking for the busted coverage for the one play score. So to kind of illustrate a lazy user here, I'm going to spy my user because I can't user the defensive controller and do this trick on the offensive control at the same time. But what you're going to see here is I'm going to now slide the protection over to the right side. And then that's going to allow me to do this motion snap with this receiver. And then I'm going to throw the ball hot to this tight end off the line. And you see that on the left side of the screen, that safety now became the guy that was in man-to-man coverage. Now, you might have seen right there that the pressure still came in, but that's okay because what we're showing you is a way to beat this blitz so quickly for big yardage that it actually didn't matter that we didn't get a great block there by our motion receiver, Marvin Harrison. If in your formation, you don't want to slide protect, you don't have to. But you see right here that we still are able to get this effect of that safety that's on the other side, manning up the tight end. And then the guy that was supposed to guard Marvin Harrison, which is, as you can see, this safety that's starting to move here on the right, because his man blocks, he actually converts into an inside third, which makes it really easy to just throw a corner route away from him. So you see right here that this is a great way to attack the cover zero and be able to get this ball out quickly. Also, if you're able to get your protection to work on this, and let's say that we are able to block that left edge, the running back out of the backfield is a quick throw that the user is not often prepared for. So if we keep them honest with this throw, that's going to help open up the tight ends. That way they don't lurk it. So let's go ahead and run that one more time here. And this time we won't use a slide protection. Again, it's going to kind of vary. Some players you might want to slide protect against, other players you might not. So again, I'm going to run inside switch, stem down this corner route, and I'm going to leave this running back route. And I'm just going to motion snap this guy inside, snap the ball. You see that we pick up everything, and I could kind of take my time here, and this is a touchdown. For what it's worth, the quarterback does kind of do like a little wave or a pointing animation. You may not be able to snap it quite as fast in a real game as you can in practice mode many times when facing the 3-4 odd meta, and that this is a great way when I'm facing those heavy blitzers that don't make adjustments, and we'll get to how to counter this momentarily. This is going to end up getting us to pay dirt quite frequently, especially if you have a good after the catch tight end. Right here, I've got Jimmy Graham 99 speed on my Bears theme team, so we're ending up able to rack that into the end zone. Now, if you're enjoying today's video, make sure that you guys are subscribed right here to the Zan Madden YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and drop a comment below. And if you guys are looking for more, make sure you guys check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron is the #1 place to get better at Madden and college football, with weekly updated vault content on both games. Yes, even into the summer, we're still grinding. You guys will be ahead of the curve year round, start to finish. You guys can unlock everything I've done on the website and into the future for just $9.95 a month, or if you want to bundle both games, $14.95. Also, make sure you guys hop in our Discord. We have lab sessions in there every single Wednesday at no additional cost, where you guys can attend and ask me questions that you might have about the game. If it's something I haven't touched on the YouTube channel or on the website, those are topics that are great to ask, because that can help form and kind of lead the direction of vault content in the future. If you're struggling with it, other players are too, and we'll work to get you an answer there on the spot or on the website in the near future. Make sure you guys go check it out. Now, to hammer home that this is a conceptual tip that you can apply to formations that have similar alignment, meaning 3 receivers to one side, a tight end and a running back to the other, we're now going to switch the defensive formation and the offensive formation. I'm still going to run a cover 0 blitz, this one out of the 4-3 even 6-1. It's the ever popular Sam Will blitz. And I'm going to hop over into the trips tight end. Again, the trips tight end follows that same numbering system. In the bunch tight end, it's just a bunch with 3 receivers to one side, the tight end, the running back to the other. Trips tight end, we got more of a spread element. So let's go ahead here and just call, it doesn't really matter, we'll call PA slot corner. It's got a similar corner route to the one that I just showed you. And we're going to stem it down. I could use a table route to the running back. And let's take a look at the play art. Again, you see that the safeties are responsible for the tight end and the inside most receiver on the trip side, and the user is responsible for the running back. It's pretty standard practice for a cover 0 when you call this alignment. Now, again, with this, all I really have to do is basically do the motion blocking of the B receiver, with him being a little bit further out. That aforementioned waving animation that I talked about will actually allow you to snap him closer to the edge when you're in a trips formation compared to a bunch formation. But the trick works no matter what. And then from there, I would just go ahead and freestyle. If you have a route tech, you know, you can start to put them on post routes, dig routes, out routes, corner routes, post routes. It doesn't matter. Or you can go to the tried and true whip route. So right here, I don't have a route tech on Patterson. I'm just going to run a whip because I know that's going to get open. Then from there, I'm going to put a post on Marvin Harrison, and we're going to go ahead and do this exact same motion snap. So I'm going to pull up the play art, and I just want to show you that this causes that same swap. So again, you saw that swap occurred. Now that you've seen what that looks like, let's go ahead and snap the ball and show you how trips tight end might differ a little bit. So you're gonna see there that safety that was guarding the tight end converted into that deep zone. Now, what you saw in this example wasn't the glitch not working. This was actually just a slight difference in the way that this motion snap occurs in a trips tight end formation versus a bunch tight end formation. You remember how I said in the bunch tight end, how this safety converted to an inside third? When you do this out of the trips tight end, he actually converts into an outside third. So you see right here that he was actually in that zone, able to converge on this throw. Even though he wasn't manned up, his zone put him in a spot where he was able to guard this. So we're going to make a slight tweak and kind of explain how you guys can adjust off of this and how you guys can adjust into the future when people actually know what you're doing and they are actually adjusting on the fly to you. So kind of our basic knowledge is, okay, we know that the safety on the right is going to convert once this little glitch occurs into an outside third, even though he was originally manned up on the tight end. What we're going to do from there is we are going to say, okay, well, if that player is playing the outside third, I don't want a steep corner route. What I would actually prefer is something that attacks the flat more, like that slant out version of that corner route that I just showed. So now when you do this, you're going to see here that we can actually throw this ball out underneath of that zone far better and maybe even turn the sideline. If you guys have a tight end apprentice, you might even say, all right, well, you know, that guy's guarding him from so far away, maybe we just go ahead and put the tight end on a flat route instead. And you'll see here that that's a great idea as well. You see right here, I can get the ball quickly out to the flat and scamper up the field quite easily. Or maybe you say, well, I don't want that deep outside third impacting me, but I don't want to throw something so quick to the flat that it's limiting my yards after the catch down the sideline. maybe you go ahead and go with a wheel route in this regard, because again, you can still just kind of wait just a little bit and then throw this as a pass lead up and still be able to make a possession catch, or you can freeform it a little bit further to the outside. You know, the world is your oyster in this regard. So again, you might say, all right, well, I'm going to just go throw this kind of like so, and you know, we can still pick up easy yards. I would say pound for pound, the tight end corner custom stem down is going to be your best throw in terms of after catch potential, because you could really just throw this and rack it into the sideline. And if you get a bad angle by the safety, you're going to turn up the sideline and be able to go for a touchdown. Or if you have an after the catch ability that causes a broken tackle, or you have a spin cycle, which actually I do on my tight end, this gives you the possibility of maybe doing a ball carrier move back to the inside that, you know, could maybe make them miss. You see right here, I was able to do that, and we were able to move up the field and pick up even more yardage off of that. So it's a pretty great little tip that allows you to beat cover zero. Now, what if you run cover zero and you are struggling to defend something like this? Well, the solve is actually very, very simple. So let's say you run a lot of cover zero man and man in general. How do you defend this? Well, one of the first things you might try is to reman the player that is guarding the tight end back onto the tight end, trying to hard code it and say, don't swap off. This can be okay, but sometimes it does actually still fail you. You see right here, when I snapped this ball, he actually did try to swap initially, but then he stayed on that route the way that we wanted him to and took that throw away. So that is a good option as well. Another option, if you're playing this cover zero, is just heed the advice that stock cover zero is not that good. You might be able to beat average players online just running stock cover zero, but the best cover zeros in the games are the ones that take chances. Not only take chances, but they mix up their look. A lot of times you could force your opponents into weird blocking techniques like the one I just showed you, but then when you actually snap the ball, you guys are in some sort of custom zone coverage that is baiting this adjustment. You put an outside third on the field expecting, you know, the corner route, and I go to, you know, try to manipulate and do this motion block, and then when I snap the ball, it's only a 4-man rush, and you're switch sticking around a zone defense and nothing is open. So that's another little tip that I would give you guys from a defensive point of view if you ever run into this, is re-man up the guy that's getting open with the guy that's supposed to guard him, or literally just color your field. Stop sending the stock cover zero blitz so much that it's baiting your opponent into this type of tactic. If you play enough snaps of zone out of this cover zero look, from my point of view and experience, this deters me personally from calling something like this. But if you sit in this all game long, I'm going to wait till the most important down of the game, and I'm going to drop this on you, and you're not going to be ready for it, and it's going to cost you. So heed those words of advice. If you guys run cover zero, start to think about stuff like this when facing trips tight end, bunch tight end, and you start to see some of these motion swap offs where they're using a motion block receiver to actually pick up your pressure and get guys to crisscross and guard the wrong side of the field. But I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Good lab and good luck.